You had to ride that nigga. He never bothered nobody, my nigga. He wasn't trapping, he was just rapping, doing this shit for a hobby, my nigga. When he was frontin' like it wasn't nothing to go spend 100 with Poppy, my nigga. Bitches, they love it cause my shit was flooded like it was a tsunami, my nigga. Yeah. My pockets is fatter than yours. My bitches is badder than yours. I keep all the bunnies around me. That's what all these carrots is for. So why would I kill you, my nigga? That's what all these savages for. They run up on you at the light. Bullets go right through your passenger door. Losing his lesson cause homie was flexing like he was the only one holding the weapon like he couldn't get it. Who was you kidding? I thought you niggas would have been learned your lesson.
Did you keep a record of what you found?
The droids destroyed it.
Using the droids ate my homework as an excuse.
Unfunny joke is unfunny.
You can always sign me up for a good ship landing, but we did not need nearly every step of their walk up to this discount Stonehenge.
This is called establishing the setting, which is important anytime you introduce a new setting. I can't wrap my head around how a guy who watches TV shows for a living doesn't understand this.
Loth cats in the willows so you can cram your lesson about friendship down our throats. At least, I'm pretty sure that's what's going on here.
Complaining about loth cats.
Cluttered work area as a sign of talent cliche.
That's not a cliche.
I was hoping you were still here.
Hoping you'll get the chance to decapitate a droid. It's a weird thing to get this excited about is all I'm saying.
And this is some classic padding the sin count and runtime, because none of what he just said was legitimately critical or funny.
Damn. So hard to tell whether Ahsoka is mad, sad, or glad. The sin is this show not being about her absolutely dominating the World Series of Poker.
Discount Jeremy makes a pop culture ref.
Take off an arm or leg and it just keeps coming.
Title of my erotic, family friendly and in no way involving droids being used in a manner other than instructed fan fiction?
Discount Jeremy makes a cringy sex tape joke that isn't funny cliche.
What happens if you get the power levels wrong?
The head will explode?
Perhaps we should perform this operation somewhere else.
I say go for it.
There's no time to relocate.
Show will now make this droid head inexplicably explodey, so the hospital scene can cosplay as if our main characters are in danger, and Ahsoka can invoke a non-existent ticking clock.
Let's start at the top of this gish gallop. First, you slipped in the word inexplicable when you were talking about the droid head exploding, but that's simply not true. They explained why the droid head could explode, because the power levels could become too much for it. Second, the ticking clock is not non-existent. Their enemy currently has the map and is going to make their move soon, so Ahsoka is absolutely correct about there not being much time.
Droid came here from Corellia.
The New Republic shipyard?
Episode expects me to know what Corellia is, and the New Republic, and a shipyard. Why does every Star Wars TV show require so much homework?
They don't. You're just stupid. Even the average child will be able to figure out through context clues that Corellia is a planet, the New Republic is the government, and a shipyard is a yard for ships. I mean, Jesus.
So getting all that from this wordless display.
Pointing things out on the screen.
Doesn't want my help.
Yes, she does.
Is there no part of Jedi training that focuses on the clear communications of thoughts and emotions? Screw the Force, y'all need therapy.
Yeah, that's kind of been the point for a long time, my dude. One of the biggest problems with the Jedi Order, which was also one of the problems that led to their downfall, was that they taught how to suppress emotions rather than express and control emotions. That's not a sin of the episode.
This place was not built by the Jedi. Whose work is it?
An ancient people from a distant galaxy.
Answering a specific question in the broadest terms possible.
Pointing things out on the screen.
Also, I guess it was only a matter of time before they crammed Star Wars stories inside other Star Wars stories. I was banking on a deep-fried Obi Skywalker-Salorian.
Yet more padding the sin count and runtime.
This is our galaxy.
What is this? A galaxy for ants?
Oh, shit.
I'm starting to feel a little too Game of Thronesy. And I don't like Game of Thrones being mixed in with my Star Wars. I mean, by season 8, I didn't really want Game of Thrones mixed in with my Game of Thrones.
Discount Jeremy makes a pop culture.
What happens when we find Thrawn?
I hope it's some cool shit, because they're working hard to build this guy up like some kind of space anti-Jesus that's going to bring about Starmageddon. And if we're being honest, this franchise jumped that shark a long time ago with its giant space laser. And then that shark jumped another shark while driving a Corvette Stingray when they introduced a bigger space laser. So this is just a warning to the series that if you think about bringing Thrawn back with an even bigger...
For us.
Power, such as you've never dreamed.
As someone who has recurring dreams about breakdance fighting...
Skip.
I think she could use some structure. So could you.
So could this show.
Regardless of whether or not you agree with this sin, he didn't provide any explanation or evidence to back up his claim, which means I can't accept the claim.
I can't train if Ahsoka doesn't want to teach me.
Blaming your lack of training on Ahsoka seems a little unfair. You should blame your lack of training on donuts like everyone else does, Sabine.
Unfunny joke is unfunny.
I have known many Padawans ones over the centuries, and I can safely say your aptitude for the Force would fall short of them all.
Designing a droid proficient in negative.
Designing a channel proficient in boredom.
Well, then I'm authorizing it.
I'm not sure you can.
Wanna bet?
Is this a threat of physical harm, or a threat of staring at him until he complies?
It's a threat to contact her higher-ups and have them force him to show her. How do you not get this?
Pre-shoot yelling for the Empire like the shooting itself would make it super obvious that you're for the Empire.
Discount Jeremy has never heard of battle cries.
Exiting through the window instead of the door. I had a friend in college who would do this on the regular. Still to this day, he's an agent of chaos.
Yet more padding the sync count and runtime.
Whether it's lightsabers or people with superpowers, it's impossible to understand how one is more powerful than the other. But someone will win and someone will lose, and no one will care or have any understanding of why said winner won and why said loser lost.
Oh boy, another one of Discount Jeremy's classic sins about how he doesn't know who's going to win a fight before it happens. Why do you want to know the outcome of a fight beforehand? These sins are incredibly dumb.
Good job, and now we will all pause with our weapons interlocked for dramatic effect and a well-deserved breather.
He says, while clearly showing them trying to push her over the edge.
What is that? A sequencer? Odd time to be working on your tracks, Marok. You gotta get those beats in place before the saber battle. Doing a risky backflip that brings your feet closer to the flying blade as you rotate instead of the more logical front flip, or just jumping straight up.
Complaining about Ahsoka doing cool flips? That's definitely a sin.
One will be seated while Sabine sets down every single piece of her armor in real time.
Discount Jeremy has the attention span of a toddler with ADHD cliche.
Nice haircut. We better get moving.
I'm sure there's a lot of backstory here, and I get that there's some sort of symbolism as well. However, Ahsoka has been pretty cold towards Sabine this entire episode to this point.
You need my help.
No, you've done enough.
Let's get going.
No, you need to recover.
So it really feels like the main source of tension between the two was her hairdo.
No, her problem was Sabine's rebellious nature, but Sabine is now showing her that she's willing to dedicate herself to her training.
Meanwhile, on Stargate.
Discount Jeremy makes a pop.
No, oh, hang on. Spoiler alert! Okay, no, I am your father.
Well, that's fine, but I don't see how that affects... What?